Hey everyone, Third Eye 88 here again, doing another mock review. This time of Thorin. Now Thorin is my ice dwarf, but he actually has about 3 different influences that go into him. The dwarf being the most prevalent. The other influence is sort of a Viking thing with the horns. But I have seen that on some dwarf stuff here and there. And the other influence, which is sort of general and overall, is more of a barbarian type feel, which is why I did the longer arms, the shorter legs, and kind of made them, and then the chains here. That's sort of more of a barbarian thing. I feel that it is. And the chains here, as his beard and his long hair in the back are sort of the I guess you could say the defining characteristic of Thorin. And then the other really important characteristic is the way I got the beard to wrap around the Strax mask. And I'm pretty sure you're all very curious to see how that happened, so I will go ahead and show that off first and foremost. Now what I did is I took the chain here, you call it a hooky chain, or you know, the large Bionicle chain. I don't know what you call it, and I don't know the official name for it, but I use that, and it's got, okay, move that out of the way. It runs, one strand runs all the way under and hooks over here, then the other, then another strand, and then the rest snaps onto that using a little pen with the stud piece on it, and that's how it connects. And then so it runs under there, up and down here, and is actually kept in place by the Strax mask. And one of the pitfalls of, or downsides of using that design is if you push on the Strax mask, it'll actually pop his beard off, which sounds funny to say and to think about, but yeah. But as long as you don't really mess with the Strax mask, it stays on there really well. So, because with my MOCs, I try to keep them very sturdy and stable. So, I spent a lot of time figuring out how to make that work. I gave like a day to that. Then another feature of Thorin is that he is the first to feature fingers on any of my MOCs. The only other figure I have that has fingers is Mateo right here. I still have him in his fancy mode, by the way. His top hat mode, I guess you could say. But after doing his hands in the way that I saw Jake or Wolf Boss X do them on many of his MOCs, and him giving me like an insider's tip by sending me some pictures and stuff, I went ahead and did it myself, and I did a slight variation of what he did. I think I don't remember on who or which figures, but he modded the sticks, the lightsaber stick thing there to be a little shorter. But I wouldn't, I don't do modding, so it sticks out there, but it works. And just to show off his other hand, it is connected to his hand, but again, if you don't really mess with it too much, he'll actually hold the his axe, and then you can also stick it over. What I do is I stick it in there and just kind of loosely set that up. You know, you can actually hold his axe with his articulated fingers. So I think that's pretty damn neat. You know, I really got to give it up to Jake for coming up with that. You know, and anybody else. I mean, pretty sure he's not the first one to do it, but he's the first one I've seen to do it. So I'm giving credit to you, Jake. So kudos to that, man. Then since I posted him on DeviantArt, I made a few additions. You know, I actually did that earlier today. I did a little more armoring on this side. I added these plates right here on this side. That's all I did there. I redid his head so that the neck is actually connected. The way I had it before is it was all actually held down by rubber bands. You know, something I kind of got the idea from Maple Master, because he uses rubber bands to hold stuff down. And it's pretty cool, and for most other things it probably would have worked, but for something where you gotta grab and twist his head as much as this, it was all over the place and it just was not working. So I went back and I actually connected the neck piece to his head, and it's actually connected to the head piece that holds on the strack mask with the ball joint. I stuck a pin in that, like we often use on other MOCs, or like I did with Shui Long, just connecting axle piece. You know, using axle pieces and socket pieces and just connecting them over and over again. I basically did that here to put his neck on his head. And then what else I added is, a lot of people told me that the legs were really plain. So what I did is I added these right here for two reasons: to kind of fill it out more and make it a little more interesting than just the standard Vaki leg, you know, shin piece here. You know, I wanted to change it up a little bit, and then with his gauntlets, you know, using the strack armor there, you kind of get this really bulky arm look off of that, almost kind of like a Hulk. Oops. Hello. And so I kind of wanted to, I don't know, I guess represent that sort of look down here with the legs. So it's sort of like a motif or whatever. So that's why I did that. And then I added, you know, these on the back. Didn't have it in white, so I just used light gray there. Speaking of light gray, you'll actually notice that some of Thorin's chains, well actually two of them, are light gray. And the concept behind that is he's actually somewhat of an older character. You know, he's an older dwarf king type person. So, whoa. So, the idea there is he's getting old and turning gray. I just felt like that was a neat little way to give him a little more character depth. And I also thought that making something as important as his braided chain hair, light gray, also gave me the chance to bring more light gray into the color scheme, which I did here. And oh, I also forgot to mention that I added these lightsaber sticks and then a translucent blue one there because I didn't have another light gray one, and then the light gray pieces here. But anyways, I felt like doing that allowed me to actually incorporate light gray into the color scheme a little more, and that way Maple Master wouldn't be on my ass about it, because he is a bit of a stickler for color schemes. But it's cool, to each their own. So yeah. Okay, fix that right there. And there you have it. And that's pretty much everything to mention about Thorin. And I gotta say, I'm really proud of this one. I really brought some innovative designs to this one, and you know, I think he is a good culmination of everything I've learned from watching you guys on DeviantArt. You know, I would say that the two mockers that have the most influence on me is Jake, you know, Wolf Boss X, and Maple Master. I really tried to bring out the really bring out Jake's style in doing the smaller, creates a larger shape kind of thing, and with the asymmetry. And then at first Maple's influence kind of came in by more in here by his philosophy of put it there, then figure out how to actually keep it there, which is sort of how he's explained it to me. So I gotta give it up to those two guys for showing me some really cool and interesting new ways to put these parts together. And so thank you guys, and thanks to everybody else who's been faving and commenting and watching and subscribing and everything else. You know, thanks to everyone. So there you have it. Thorin, Third Eye 88 out.